Conte is officially the manager of Tottenham Hotspur. He's taken over from Nuno now that he was sacked early this week, and I reckon this is the best possible appointment that they could have done to replace him, because they've now got a decent manager who's got decent tactics and he's got a good philosophy, and he's got trophies in his other clubs that he's been in a managerial position, and it's also good because he can get the better out of Son and Kane, because they weren't playing well under Nuno Espirito Santos, and they're going to be more of a threat, and sides are going to go into playing against them not that confident, unless they're probably a Man City, Liverpool or Chelsea, because they're probably the three best sides in the league at the moment. And this is a massive blow for United, because they should have sacked Ollie after the Liverpool defeat last Sunday and then brought in Conte, because Conte suited United as well. That's the only other side in the Premier League that he suited, because it sorted the defensive woes out of Maguire and Victor Lindelof that were hopeless in that 5-0 defeat in the Liverpool defeat last weekend, which was a demoralising defeat. And I reckon United could have maybe pushed for a title, not to win the title, but they would have definitely got say third or fourth if they brought him in. Ollie is a decent guy and he's a decent player, but he's not a good manager. He hasn't got the philosophy as the other top managers in the world in the Premier League have got, and he hasn't won any trophies. And the league before, it wasn't a good enough league to prove of how good his qualities was. And I think Tottenham, the target should be because they're still in all four competitions, but they're pretty much, we can discount them out of the Premier League because I think that's too much of a distance for them to come back and go and win the title now. But I think they've got a decent chance of winning the Conference League. I don't think they're going to win the Conference League. I think they need to just scrap that and then just try and win an FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. Yes, they might say that. I don't think the FA Cup gets the credit that it deserves, because it's the oldest football competition in the world, and it's a day out at Wembley, and it's a good way to end your season off if you haven't had a good season in the Premier League or the other competitions. And if you win that, then it gives you the confidence to say that you haven't had a poor season. And if you win the Carabao Cup, then because it's early, still when the season is going on, when it's February, March, if they're it's still within a chance of top four, if they win that, then it gives them confidence to go in and push for that. And I think it's not good for Arsenal. It's not good for Man United. The only teams I can say that it's not too bad for is Liverpool, Man City and Chelsea, because they've already got the three top-class managers, and in Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp and Thomas Tuchel. And I think it's probably only going to be a 2 or 3 year contract, but in the time it's still probably get the best out of their defence and sort that out, because that's been shocking recently. And they're not when they're losing games, they're not having many shots on goal, because in the United game they had 0 shots on goal, and some of the losses that they shouldn't have been losing to the games to Crystal Palace, and they shouldn't be losing 3-0 to Chelsea. No matter how good Chelsea and their quality is, they shouldn't be losing 3-0 to them. They should be at least showing passion and going toe-to-toe with them. I think Tottenham really need a trophy, because they haven't had one in say 2008, and that's what the other clubs and the big and the other clubs of big clubs the fans are holding over them, that they never win the Premier League, they never win any trophies. But I think they've got the capabilities to do it, because they've got the squad, but it's just that they don't have the greatest of mentality, because they haven't had the previous trophies to go for that. And I think Conte, because he's a serial winner, he's got decent tactics. He's managed in the league before, because he was in the Premier League before when he was at Chelsea for 2 years when he won the Premier League and the FA Cup, and he's also managed Italy before. And I think they can't win a Premier League under him, I don't think, because there's three sides that I would say in the pecking order for the Premier League are a bit above them because they've got better squads in them. But I think they can make that fourth spot their own because United are not in a good situation with Ollie at the moment, and obviously the Glazers, and like they will be a time where they might get in there because they've still got players that have still got still got even the heights that they haven't reached yet, like Son and Kane, because Kane hasn't got up to the heights of last season and previous seasons, because I think he won the Golden Boot twice. I think he's not probably going to win that. He's probably not going to win that now, but he's probably gonna get his form up under Antonio Conte, because under Nuno he just wasn't playing up to the best of his ability, because obviously he was what's this boring football, and why should he be here when he should have made his move to Man City in the summer. And Conte will get the best out of Son and Kane, because they haven't been good this season at all, because they're not playing into the right style of football. And Conte, I think, is probably, I'd say he's probably one of the best managers in the world, but I wouldn't say he's the best, but he's got enough in them to be probably most managers on a good day in the Premier League. And I think if Tottenham can win a trophy under him, I think that can be a job well done, and they got what they wanted out of him in the 2 or 3 years that they had him for. And I think with Conte now, that they can maybe I wouldn't be surprised if Rudiger made a shot move to Tottenham, because obviously he's worked with Conte before and done great things together, and I think he could suit his style of play, because he's played under it before, and so why wouldn't he go and do it again? But the only thing is, because of the Chelsea and the Tottenham thing, because of it, he'd been a player, I doubt that would happen, but you never know. And quick sec, I'll just turn the light on so you can see me a bit better. And I think this is probably a good thing for the Premier League, because it's good to have a manager like this in the Premier League, despite him not being at your club. Because I'm a City fan, but I do like him as a manager. I think he's got he uses his brain well and his tactics well to get through the games where he's not playing so well. He's a good at grinding out wins. My prediction for Conte at Spurs is that he'll probably go to a 3 at the back formation like he did at Chelsea, and I think the best that they're going to win are probably I'm going to say they win a Carabao Cup maybe, and they get top 4. And I think now that they've got a better manager, that'll probably there's a chance of Kane's future being he might consider it, because now they've got a decent manager. Yes, they're not where they want to be at the moment, but when he gets started, that I'll be surprised if they don't finish at least near to the top 4 and win a trophy. Because if they don't, then that's understandable for Kane to leave. But I think with Nuno, if he stayed for the whole season, Kane would probably go in the summer. But I think there's the chance of him staying and committing his future to Spurs and on a long-term deal, now that they've got an actual decent manager to underneath to play under and play a good philosophy. And there's also been talks of Brendan Rodgers linked with Man City to replace Pep Guardiola. But my thing is with that is, he's a good manager. He's not a world-class manager. There's better managers out there than him. And yes, he has won an FA Cup, and yes, he has won a Community Shield, but he hasn't done anything else major. He's bottled top 4 in the last 2 seasons with bottling it on the last day of the season. And I don't think at City 5th place would be acceptable. He'd probably get sacked after that. And yes, Pep didn't win anything in his season, but you could see the potential of us doing that in the past that season. But with Rodgers, the thing is, I think it's a risk, because why don't you get Eric Ten Hag in at Ajax, because his contract is right up in the time that Pep Guardiola is, and then why don't say that will give you a decent wage, we'll offer you your board objectives, that what you want us to do in the style of football that we want you to play, and why don't you do that? Or you could get an old legend back and bring Roberto Mancini, because he won 2 titles, Premier League titles at us in 2014-15, and it was 11-12, because that's probably the best. Our best moment in our club's history was under Roberto Mancini when Aguero got that goal and when we won the title on the last day of the season. But we might not play like as attractive football with our passing and as fluid like passing football, but I'm all behind that. If it's possible, that I think you get Mancini in or you get Ten Hag in, not Brendan Rodgers. If Brendan Rodgers can be your third option, if like those two options, it's understandable if Mancini don't want to come back because what he's done with the Italy national team now, he's won the Euros and he's probably going to try and get as far as he can with Italy in the World Cup because that's a tournament before Pep's contract is up. And I think you need to go with someone that plays a similar style of play, and that's what Ten Hag would bring you, because that's what he's trying to play. That's a new style of football that's coming around, and he's playing that brilliantly at Ajax, and he got them to a semi-final with a really good, young, talented squad back in 2019. If it weren't for Lucas Moura to get that goal in injury time to break their hearts, but it's still impressive because no one expected them to get that far in the competition. That's all from me. Like, share, subscribe. There'll be a monthly fixtures for Manchester City preview for the November fixtures, and that'll be out very, very shortly. Like, share, subscribe, and then there will also be a Club Bridge preview out. And if you could share this with a friend that's a football fan or a big Manchester City fan, that'd be massively appreciated, because we're targeting to get 100 subscribers right on Christmas, and we're not too far away from that now because we're on 84. If you could just help me reach that before Christmas, we're only 1 month away, so we've got to do that quickly if we want to do that. But if we don't, then I'll still provide you with content. But I just want to get to the 100 subscriber mark, because then I could do like more interactive things like Q&As, and then like more. And then once we get to 10k, I can like communicate with you like through the community chat. So thanks for watching. See you guys soon. And have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday evening. Goodbye. Cheerio.